Hi, it's Lauren Schaffler again from Boating New Zealand, and today we're on the 60-foot cat iron. She's a Roger Hill designed catamaran, entirely carbon fiber, very light, 12 tons over a 60-footer. An intriguing boat because she's such a clever blend of high performance and cruising comfort. This is a 60-foot vessel, and to say that she's good for short-handed sailing doesn't sound logical. But the way the sail controls have been designed and set up, these twin helm stations, they're replicated on each side, makes it extremely easy to sail short-handed. She's equipped with very nice fly-by-wire electronic controls for the throttles and the gear levers on the engines, twin Yanmar 75 horsepower. Everything is controlled from here with this B&G instrument array. It's a very nice setup. Your view lines to the foredeck, to the jib or code 0, very easy over the way the coach roof has been cambered over here. I'm sitting with Graham Catley, the owner of Cat Iron, and he's very kindly taken us out sailing today. But I was struck by this boat in the blend of the performance-orientated detail and the cruising comfort. Graham, can you tell us a little bit about how you came upon this concept?
Well, we wanted a boat that was beautifully comfortable for the family and so forth, but also an incredibly fun and exciting boat to sail. And working with Roger and Norths and Halls, the rig guys, to come up with that configuration that is giving us the performance, the layout of the boat in terms of the sailing processes. So we wanted a boat, firstly, that could be easily handled with two people, and secondly, having a pole and a Genicas that drive the boat along, move the apparent wind forward on the rig, and so that you're getting that real fast performance, as well as being really easy to handle. Most of the processes can be handled from the back of the boat here.
She's also a supremely comfortable boat. You can sleep, 8 people in comfort here. It's minimalist, I would almost call it. It's beautiful and functional.
Simplicity was one of the design criteria. The boat was designed to be simple but sleek, and it's designed to be relatively light. That allowed us to carry the comforts, the dishwashers and ovens and all sorts of things that are in the boat, while maintaining a good high performance. The boat, clearly, every time we've been sailing, it sails on most points of sail faster than the wind that you're sailing in, and so that's indicatively telling us that as the wind gets up over 20 to 25 knots, we're going to be doing those sorts of speeds comfortably in it.
There's no point in having a vessel of this size if you can't actually entertain people. And one of the best ways to illustrate why this boat is so successful for entertaining is this saloon table. It unfolds into about 5 times its current size. You can use it if you're 2 people or 12 people on board. And most importantly, it's very easy to deploy this table. And there we go. More than enough space for entertaining all your favorite friends. So the boat's set up to handle 8 guests, including the owner and his wife. We've got 2 cabins like this, mirror images of one another, one on the other side, double beds, each with their own ensuite, with a separate bathroom and toilet, which just makes life very, very comfortable. A good place to relax on a hot summer's day. It's a day bed, but like many things on this boat, there's a lot of different features and different functions that go into the design. This, for example, opens. The bed to the master cabin is just below. If you want extra ventilation, you could open this hatch. It's a great flow of air through the system over here. Another part of the easy sail equation is the self-tacker. She's got a very wide track, which gives you a fairly sizable jib. She's also equipped with a code 0, of course, or a couple of code 0s. Part of it which makes sail handling so easy is the roller furling in the boom. I've watched this going up and down a couple of times today, and I must say I was absolutely staggered at how nicely it was deployed on each occasion. So if you've ever sailed on a large catamaran with a deep roach main, you'll know that dropping the main or raising it for that matter, is a problem, because you always have to undo the headboard from a shackle, which invariably involves climbing onto the boom and undoing it like that. This cat has got a much nicer and an ingenious system for raising and lowering and unclipping the sail, which doesn't require you to climb anywhere near the boom. I'm sitting with Roger Hill, the designer of Cat Iron. Am I right in saying that the entire vessel is carbon fibre?
Well, it is 100% carbon fibre. The purpose of this boat is to optimise the performance of it, but also make it a liveaboard cruising yacht. So any weight that doesn't need to be there shouldn't be there, because it has a detrimental effect on how the boat performs.
She's a very big boat. How many people is he likely to be sailing with?
Well, that's for 8. Probably not the case very often with Graham, because he intends to do a lot of sailing with just him and his wife. There's a crew berth planned for the bow. The boat has to be a dual-purpose boat. A 4-cabin layout. It's pretty luxurious for a boat of this style, which is high performance.
I've chatted to quite a number of the people that are on board today. It'd be true to say that this is a collaborative effort, in the sense that a lot of people provided input into the way things evolved. It was a good team by the sounds of it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's one of the great pleasures of being a yacht designer in Auckland. When you do a project like this, you have absolutely the best people in the world to work with, and no single designer can do everything that you see in this boat. It's just not feasible. You could have a go at it, but then someone would ultimately have to go and employ one of those people anyway. So we put together this team. They're really the top people in the world. It's my design, but all these other people have made a big contribution.
I was particularly struck to discover dagger boards move up and down considerably, but also the rudders are completely retractable, which ultimately means you can get this boat into a fairly shallow anchorage if you wish to.
I'll put it on the beach, yeah. Part of the brief was that the boat had to be able to do that for the owner to get the boat up to his holiday house in Mangawai. We can literally get it to float in about 800 mil of water.
I understand the rudders have got a T-section, a sort of a foil in them as well. Are they designed to a predetermined hydrodynamic shape?
Yes, they are actually, and the purpose they serve really is to control vertical motion in the stern in a way. If you see the boat sailing hard on the wind with a rudder like that, it just doesn't pitch. It controls the stern squat, so as you go faster and faster with a displacement hull, generally they squat in their stern. This rudder stops that. And it just, when the boat's particularly going to windward, it's just an amazing effect, yeah.
So this is the port asymmetric dagger board, and it's partially raised. When it's fully deployed, fully down, the draft of the cat goes to 3.8 meters. When it's fully up, it's only about 600 millimeters. It's particularly clever in that the way the curve or the camber of this dagger board works, you can take this dagger board out from the top, which makes maintenance a lot easier, obviously. Very clever. On a boat this size, it's hard to control things like lighting and services like air conditioning and heating, but it becomes an extremely easy job with something like CZone. You can create the right lighting literally at the touch of a button. The other advantage of CZone, because it runs on a network, rather than having to run wire, conventional copper wire throughout the boat, you can use the CZone's network system, and it cuts something in the order of 200 kilograms out of what would be a conventional wiring situation. It's a great system. There is no shortage of refrigeration on this vessel. She's in fact equipped with 3 very large fridges. The first one is a freezer built into the desktop over here under the navigation station. Heaps of space. It's empty at the moment, but as you can see, you can pack a lot of stuff in here. In the galley, we've got a much more conventional fridge that opens over there. But my favorite fridge on this vessel is the one that's in the cockpit. Just when you need it, when you need a cold beer, it's built very cleverly under the cockpit seat. And it's a fully functioning built-in fridge. It's not just a cool locker, it's an actual fridge. One of the best things about the entertainment space on this boat is the way the flow between the cockpit and the saloon is accentuated by these sliding doors. And on the starboard side, you have a window which slides all the way out here. So if the weather's inclement, everything closes up, keeps you nice, warm and cozy. But on a sunny day like this, you open it up completely, they fold away inside the bulkheads, out of sight. It's just glorious. She's one impressive vessel. The most disturbing part of today was that we had very light winds, so we couldn't actually see her at her full potential. But I'm told they've had her out in 20-25 knots of wind, and she, as you might expect, goes remarkably well. One of the most intriguing designs I've seen in a long time. A very clever blend of the functionality of the design with this high performance. She's a great vessel, and I'm looking forward to seeing her at some point in better wind conditions.
John Ecclestone from Boating New Zealand. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to see more of these videos, please subscribe to our channel.